Okay, well, good day, everyone. Welcome to the virtual meetup for Global Chamber Los Angeles. I am Dr. Sarita Jackson, the Global Chamber Los Angeles Chair of the Advisory Board, and I also run my own consulting firm, Global Research Institute of International Trade, or the easiest way to remember is GRIT with two I's, where clients that work with me are able to minimize their risks and maximize their revenue by expanding globally through our decision-focused insights and strategy. And we meet every third Thursday of the month. So mark your calendars. Our next virtual meetup will be April 16th, and at this time, 10 o'clock Pacific time. And then also, we have the recording afterward on the Global Chamber YouTube channel. And this is an opportunity where members are able to come together. We will have speakers. So sometimes our different members will be selected to speak and share information on resources and opportunities. And then we have a discussion afterward where we can highlight whatever resources we are able to provide or any opportunities that are available, or share any needs that we may need. So without further ado, also before, go ahead, put your information in the chat so that we can connect, or you can follow up with different individuals afterward. And then just for housekeeping, make sure I see everyone's mics on mute. So just make sure you maintain that until you actually speak. But without further ado, I would like to introduce one of our Global Chamber LA members who is going to share insight today, and that is Stacy Dobek, who is the Senior Business Development Manager at Convera, and she helps small and mid-sized companies manage global payments, currency exchange risk, and cross-border growth. So I will turn it over to Stacy. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the warm introduction, Sarita. Yes, I'm Stacy Doback with Convera. I am based here in Southern California. Convera is a global commercial fintech that powers international businesses, as she mentioned. We have over 1,900 dedicated industry specialists that work for Convera around the globe. We move money around the world, smart, simple, and secure. So for those companies who send and receive foreign exchange payments, we help them with those payments. We also manage foreign exchange risk. As you know, the market volatility with currencies can be it can move a lot. And so we can help with forward contracts, options, and also hedging opportunities with our different specialists who can make recommendations. We have the best in class compliance. So we make sure that we follow very strict global rules for sanctions and also for anti-money laundering and also anti-terrorism. And Convera, we purchased Western Union Business Solutions a couple of years ago to get their rails. They have rails that go directly into many banks globally. So with Convera, we can offer over 140 currencies in over 200 countries. We have 30 locations globally with 50 plus banking partners. We work with over 500 bank accounts internationally and service over 900 educational institutions for their global payments for tuition. And we also work with over 700 law firms. So for companies who are making these global payments in the US, this is kind of an educational sell for US companies. Most US companies are still using their banks to make these payments. Whereas if you're in Europe or South America, most people use a third party company like ours to make these payments because we can make them for, better exchange rates, lower wire transfer fees, and we can move the money quicker and more secure, and we have tracking capabilities. We also do offer a lot of reporting options as well. And you can do mass payments. So, making mass payments and tracking those payments and then doing the reporting features. We have a lot of different ways we can work with our clients. So, we're a hugely growing business in the US, as companies start to recognize that they're spending a lot more money than they need to. And we do, again, offer, individual service to companies so that they can take advantage of the different, forwards and options and hedging strategies so that they are protected with the money that they're sending and receiving. So if there's any companies you ever come across or you know of anyone, we are a referral-based business, so we always appreciate referrals, and it's great to be a part of the Global Chamber. I've had a lot of great experiences with this group, so I don't know if anyone has any questions, but that's kind of a little bit about what we do and how we can help businesses.
Great. Thank you for that overview. And let's see, does anyone have any questions, comments, want to chime in? Oh, Doug?
Thank you, Stacy. What's happening in the market right now that either makes this a more important topic or a less important topic?
Well, with the volatility in the currency market today, it's more important than ever to be doing different strategies, for companies who know if they're doing payroll or they know they need to make certain payments at certain times. We can really help with securing rates, so that they know what they're going to make. If the currency market is moving, 5% up and down, and your revenue is 5%, that could totally eat into the company's profits where they could be unprofitable. So in those situations, being able to secure a rate so that you know what you need to be charging your customers can be very, very helpful for businesses. So, in these tough times where there is tariffs and market volatility, that's where, it can be really helpful to secure in a certain rate.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay. All right. Okay. No, no one else has any questions? Oh,
I will
Elizabeth?
definitely
Go
put
ahead.
my contact details in the notes so that you can contact me if anybody has any questions that come up, or think of any companies that might benefit from how we could help them. I always appreciate referrals, but I'll put my contact details in the notes so that you have them readily available.
Great. And I see
Thanks for your
Elizabeth Glenn
time.
had her hand up.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Quick question. Stacy, I work with a lot of small and medium-sized manufacturers that could benefit from what your company offers. What are some tips for helping to educate them so that they're more proactive in this area?
Well, I think the best thing for them to realize that with their banks, it's not a profit center for banks to do foreign exchange, and especially like that's why we don't really target enterprise size companies, because enterprise size companies do get special services from their banks. The small and medium sized businesses, however, do not get special treatment with their banks, and they're usually paying a high percentage on the exchange rate, and they could be paying up to $40 per wire transaction. And a lot of times they're paying not only to send money, but also to receive money. And those exchange rates can be 2 or 3 times the amount that we would charge. It's not unlike us to see banks charging 2% on their exchange rate where we can get them down to like a 0.5%, which can make a big difference for these small, medium-sized businesses. They also oftentimes, what we hear from these small and medium-sized businesses is sometimes they even have to go into the bank to make these payments, which is very inconvenient and time, it's a big time suck for them to have to go into the bank. Whereas we do have an online portal. We also have dedicated traders who they can be in touch with to make these payments as well, so that that can save them time. And then again, the ability for us to do the options and the forward contracts and to really look at what kind of payments they've been making over the last 12 to 24 months, and then trying to figure out a strategy for them to secure rates that make their business stay profitable, even when there is market volatility, which they don't get that kind of service from their banks.
Thank you.
And Anita?
This is a great question.
And
Yeah, I have a
Anita?
question. Since you brought up fees, and my theory on fees is that the bigger the transfer, the less they bother you, but they always bother you nonetheless because they're just a nuisance. So, two-part question. You guys, if you're receiving foreign payments, or if you're sending, do you ACH it out of people's accounts? Number one. And number two, do you do the equivalent? So it would cost them nothing, because if you're not wiring it and you're ACHing it, obviously there's no cost to the client. Do you also have the ability to do that in Canada and Europe and other countries where they have the equivalent of the ACH system, even though it's called something else?
Yes, we do have ways to pull money out of accounts. The other thing that, you're bringing up a good point for us is that we also have the ability for people to hold balances in currencies in different bank accounts. So they don't have to always do the exchange. Like if you are getting paid in euros and you're going to have to make a euro payment, you can hold that balance with us in your own account, but without having to have the bank account. For companies, and if you work with companies who are international and have a global footprint, you know that it's very difficult to open accounts in other countries. It's
Yes, it's
costly, and
horrible.
it can take 6 to 9 months to open an account in another country. And
Well, they do it for you
we
because they don't want to have to report to the US government.
Right, right. So for us, when you have an account with us and you can hold that balance in your own, in your name in a bank that we have an affiliated partnership with. So you don't have to pay those exchange fees back and forth, and you can hold the balance in that bank without having to open an account through our relationships. So that's a huge advantage for companies as well.
Absolutely. Now, but you're not a bank, so there's red flags that go up when people are receiving and sending foreign currency in the same currency because you guys are not a bank. So do you put any limits on, so let's say somebody gets paid in euros and they need to go and pay somebody in pounds. So that's foreign to foreign, no big deal. But if they're getting paid in euros and they're paying out in euros and they do that repeatedly, does that raise any red flags?
We do make payments in same currency. There's a different fee structure typically around that.
Mhm.
But, we have a lot of clients who make, transfers of funds in one
Mhm.
currency to another, but they're still going to have sometimes where they're just making payments in same currency. So we make sure that they have the ability to do it all with us. And there's just a different fee structure. There usually would be a wire fee associated, but it still wouldn't be like it might be $10 versus $25 that they'd be charged with their bank.
Exactly, exactly. Perfect. Thanks.
Yeah.
Great. No, thank you so much for that information as well as the questions that provided a lot of useful information. Anyone else? Any questions or comments? Okay. And as Stacy mentioned, and then you'll see everyone else's people's contact information, but Stacy's contact information is in the
I
chat?
will put it
Or
in.
it's,
Yeah.
she's putting it, okay. I
Yeah,
was like,
I
okay,
haven't done it
okay, there we
yet
go.
because I wanted to be present for all of you people, all you
Yes,
lovely
makes sense.
folks out there. And so I will put it in the chat as soon as all the questions are answered. And again, really appreciate your time. And I love being a part of this group. And if there's any questions you have, or, I could always schedule a one-on-one. I could do a demo of the online platform if anyone is curious about that. So any questions, I'm here and I'm available and would love to help.
Absolutely. Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, Stacy. And again, this is, what this virtual meetup is all about, just where you can highlight resources and how you're able to help. So if anyone or your clients have any needs as it comes to, currency exchange, cross-border payments, this Stacy is one of the resources that can assist in that area. And so, as she said, once she puts her information in the chat, yeah, this is another resource where you can reach out to her directly. Before I open it up to just kind of a regular discussion, I don't know, Doug, did you have any comments before I shift to just kind of finding out? And this is good for you, Stacy, too, to see who else is in the room and learn more about us and the work that we do, and any opportunities or opportunities for collaboration or ways in which we can support you and things of that nature. But I just want to see if Doug has any comments before I shift gears.
First of all, Stacy, thank you for being a member in multiple companies over time, and you found the right company and the best one, right? So,
Yeah.
congratulations, and great that we can be so close. Jeff Dar was planning to speak, and he's texting me now. He has an 11 o'clock hearing, and he's getting prepared for that. So I don't think he's going to be here, Sarita. He's indicating he might be able to step in. So I think your plan to go around the room and to proceed with Plan B, and if he's able to come, great. But it's not looking likely based on the texting he's giving me.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for the update. Yeah, so we can just go around the room, and it's just informal, just where people can share a little bit about what they do, but then also, as I mentioned, any opportunities, or if you have any needs that we can address, or, discuss the types of clients that you're looking for, so that we are aware and we can support each other in this ecosystem. So
Sarita?
yes.
Just as a suggestion, Elizabeth Cario is a new member. I thought of her when Stacy mentioned she came into LA from New York. Elizabeth came in from Europe, and so she's getting used to downtown LA, and she's provided for me anyway a different kind of a perspective of what downtown LA is from a European standpoint. And Elizabeth, hopefully you're acclimating well, but we definitely want to hear from Elizabeth today for sure.
Yes. So of course, so we will get to everyone, and she's actually second on my screen, but we can start with you, Elizabeth. We'll just start with you and then go around the room. I'm just going in the order of who I'm seeing on my screen. So welcome, Elizabeth, and yeah, and just introduce yourself, and then if there's any way we can support you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Doug. But I know before we have a long discussion when I arrived 1 month ago, and thank you, Santa. Yeah, just arrived in January and from Europe, from Paris, exactly. And I decided to come in Los Angeles. I didn't know anyone, so it's a new page, it's a new adventure. And I really wanted to change my life and to discover a new culture. And I am not disappointed. I mean, I have a huge feeling of freedom here. So, so yeah, I choose to live in downtown LA because in Europe we are living in the center of the cities, and just to discover. I mean, it's more easy for me to discover. I don't like to drive, so I didn't have any car, so I decided to live in the center of a town. So, and it's okay. I mean, it's really interesting. I mean, as profession, I am a former CPA. I was a legal editor during 20 years. I then worked for the United Nations, European Commissions, in Africa, in Asia, everywhere, a lot of mission around the world. And now it's first and third part of my professional life, and I am a transition partner, and I want to help non-profit organizations when they are facing difficult situations, because I think there are an important roles to play in the society and the economy also, because it's a huge sector. So I would like to put my expertise at the disposal of NGOs, foundation, and all these organizations when they are facing financial problem, but not only this, because I have two expertise, financial, of course, as a former CPA, but also in psychology, because I study in UK in transpersonal psychology. So when you have conflicts and think and in such situation, I can also help this nonprofit organization, but also individuals when they are transiting like me. I mean, expat, of course, when they are moving from one situation to another one, and sometimes it's difficult when they want to be somebody with them, just to be with them and to talk, so and to find solutions. So let's see what happened now. I would say. Thank you.
Well, thank
Anita.
you so much, Elizabeth. And thanks for sharing that. And I just want to point out that Elizabeth did put her information in the chat. And I will reach out to you as well. Again, welcome to see. That's very interesting what you're speaking about with regard to the work that you want to do with regard to nonprofit organizations. And this could be a platform for you to share some of your background, similar to what Stacy just did, to share your expertise, and then we can see how people can partner up with you or help or connect you with some of the nonprofit organizations in the LA area or SoCal for that matter.
Thank you,
All right,
Anita.
well, thank you. Okay, and then next I would like to invite Anita.
Okay, great. Hi, and welcome, Elizabeth. Bienvenue. Hello, everyone. Anita Rodal, president of SBPI Services. Since 2009, we've been representing several currency exchange companies to help global businesses lower the rates and fluctuation risks on their cross-border payments. Why represent more than one company? Because each foreign exchange company has its specialties and minimums, so I need more than one option to be able to match each of my clients with the service provider that best meets their needs. For U.S. businesses based here in the U.S., we also broker working capital and equipment loans. And lastly, putting my degree in linguistics to very good use, I offer private pronunciation coaching on Zoom to help foreign-born business professionals speak region-neutral American English. Anita Rodal, SBPI Services.
Great. Thank you so much, Anita. And also, I just want to point that she also put in the chat information about herself, but also the fact that she hosts this Export-Import Forum, and it's every fourth Thursday of the month. Yes, at noon. And it's virtual. So check that out as well. You can join. And then, many of us who are on the call, I just did one, she might be tapping you just so that you know to share your expertise on that platform as well. And you can also check out some of the earlier interviews or discussions that she has had on the Global Chamber website. So you can get a feel for what that's like. So thank you so much, Anita. And next we have Ann Tamil, who is a really good friend. She's a new member to Global Chamber Los Angeles, but we just saw each other yesterday. So we crossed paths through many different organizations, and when I'm making the drive to Orange County. So I want to turn the floor to Ann Tamil and the work that she does. Welcome.
Thank you, Sarita. It's an honor to join you here and to work with you on these projects. So it's very cool to be here and meet with all of you. I'm the founder of OC CEO Collective, and we run peer advisory groups. I work with leaders on strategy, executive presence, and culture. And we have an event coming up. We have a series of events. But the next one coming is April 16th at UCI. We have the Global Women in Innovation Summit. And we're expecting hundreds of people, and we hope you can join us. We hope you can share the word. I left the link in the chat. If you use the code ANDGUEST, that waives your registration fee. Please feel free to share it and join us. We're excited. We're actually making it accessible all over the globe, and we're just so excited to build this community. There's lots of exciting things going on in Orange County right now with becoming more of a hub of innovation and a strategic, road to global trade, for foreign investment. So it's a lot of fun and exciting, and it's really nice to be here with all of you. So thank you, Sarita.
Yeah, thanks, Anne. And I must highlight the flyer is in the chat, but we do have one of our board members who will be speaking, Bill Edwards. So he will be participating in the Global Women in Innovation Summit and speaking and sharing his expertise as a part of this event. So I encourage you definitely check out the information that Anne has shared and mark your calendars. I know that's the same day, but it's after our virtual meetup. So you can still join us virtually and then attend that event. And so it's a good caliber of speakers, and I am just a big fan. I support anything that Anne does because she puts on some great events. I see, Doug, you have your hand up before we continue to go around the virtual room.
Cool. Yeah, I second it with Anne, and I haven't known her as long as you have, but just so impressed. And we're working on ways to get her more and more involved with Global Chamber. And so stay tuned for some exciting announcements. The hand was mainly for Anita. Anita, are you involved with the David Harlow's plan to have a regular webinar series for the export import group? Are you weaved into that? And is it too early to mention anything there?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, yeah, we had our committee meeting. It was just David and I the other day. So the idea is we'll be doing 3 this year. And obviously with the subject matter of export import or import export in this case, we wanted to focus on the different ports in Southern California, like the greater LA area. And so we'll be pairing them, like the large ones with the smaller ones, just as, compare and contrast, and talking about what the capabilities are and things that affect exporting, importing. Most people are familiar with, they think of LA in general as a big export community, but they don't realize that we've got both the Port of LA, the Port of Long Beach, and then we've got Port Hueneme and San Diego. And then San Diego also has, border crossing, literally where things get trucked across. So the idea is to target, to do 2 of them at a time, to have a conversation about why people would want to use one versus the other, and general things like that. So it'll be some very interesting conversations that we'll be having. So April 29th at 11 a.m. We have saved that date. We'll get it on the calendar very shortly, but that will be the first one. So I hope everybody can join us.
Very cool. Thank you.
Thanks for that reminder.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah, so in other words, we have quite a bit going on activity-wise for the Global Chamber Los Angeles. So yeah, so mark your calendar, or it'll be on the calendar, but at least say that date for April 29th at 11 a.m. Okay, let's see. So next, Ruby Golo.
Hi. Hello, everyone. Thank you for the floor. For my introduction, I'm Ruby Golo. I provide advisory services to businesses looking to expand to Ghana with their products and services. I also double as the executive director for Global Chamber in Accra. We meet every last Tuesday of the month. So our next section will be March 31st, and it's going to be with the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, the government agency responsible for foreign direct investment. So there's an open invitation for everybody to come along. I will put a link in the chat, and for those who are interested, do register and come along to that event. Thank you. Back to you, Sarita.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ruby. Let's see, we have David Hune.
Good morning. Um, um, my name is David Hyun. That's a Korean name. My ancestors came from Korea about 1920 from the Provisional Government of Korea to the Hawaiian Islands. My grandfather was the first ambassador from the Provisional Government of Korea to the United States. His son, my grandparents had about 8 children. One of them, my father, David Hyun, became an architect developer. I followed his footsteps. Uh, so my background is initially in architecture. I'm a licensed architect, but my father got heavily involved with real estate development, and together we designed and developed Japanese Village Plaza in Little Tokyo, which is still thriving today. It's an 89,000 net rentable themed destination shopping center. Um, I have I have a lot of education in my background, uh, which is a degree in architecture from USC, a master's in architecture from MIT, and an MBA in real estate finance from USC Marshall School of Business. I gravitated towards the business side of architecture into real estate development because I noticed that most architects at the end of their 40-year career ended up with no assets at all and died poor. I decided that that was not my interest to die poor, and I became quite interested in real estate as an asset to own. What I want to share with everybody today is real estate is very much like the life cycle of a human being. You have what I call the romance of real estate. The counterpart is the romance of people. It takes two people to create a child. Real estate is very much like that. You have a developer, an investor, and they buy a piece of land that shows promise to build a building on it. And the building is designed, it is built. I call that the infancy years of real estate, just like children from the time they're born to the time they're about 8 years old. That's the infancy. Then we have the teenage years of humans from about 8 to about 18. That's what I call the middle years. Real estate, after it's completed and rented up, are the middle years. Then the growth years are from 18 to about 34. Real estate follows the same pattern. At the end of a 40-year period, real estate begins to become obsolete. It becomes aged, and it goes into a declining phase from 40 to 60. And after 60, buildings are either torn down or renovated. Humans are not renovated, they get a facelift, they get plastic surgery. I come in at the point of about the middle years to help investors buy the building or the sellers of the owner of the property to sell the building, because it's at that point that real estate, commercial real estate and residential real estate has begun to optimize its economic value. Many people have become very successful financially by owning real estate, holding it for 10, 20 years, and the value of real estate in many cases can easily quadruple in value. I know one family that bought an apartment building for 5.5 million. 20 years later, they sold it for over 20 million. I encourage everyone in this audience to think of yourself as a real estate owner. Now, you may not own any commercial real estate, but let's say that you think bigger than say, I only own my own home. let's say that you say, well, I have some retirement funds. I know that my brother, sister, and an uncles have retirement funds. Let's go buy a small retail shopping center. The small is 3 to 5 million. At 5 million with 30% down, that's that's 1.5 million in down payment. And then the rest you can finance. But after 5, 10, or 20 years, that shopping center that you bought for 5 million could easily appreciate if you buy it in the right area to to 10 or 12 million. That is the power of owning real estate, because real estate is powered by the tenants who pay rent, and every year you manage the rent by just a small little uptick of 3% a year, okay? And you, in terms of commercial real estate, you might get what is called a percentage of the, it's called profit sharing of the tenant's income after a certain cutoff point. So whether it's your own home, whether it's a duplex, triplex, fourplex, a small apartment, or a small shopping center, because of my, if you go to my website, LinkedIn/David Hewin CCIM, you'll see a whole bunch of PDFs that shows my background. I am an educator at heart. The reason why I became quite interested in Global Chamber is through Doug Brunke and Ellen Sue. And I said, what a nice bunch of leaders. I'm a firm believer in leadership. And it all became into focus when I became a commercial broker in March 1st, 2011.
David,
Do you want to cut me off?
could you wrap up?
I'm going to wrap up. Everyone attending this meeting, from Sarita Jackson to Anita Rodo to Elizabeth Cario to Crum to Elizabeth Glynn, Ann Tamil, Stacy Gobek, Mila, I see leadership. And what I found out in leadership is that leaders, they think big, they think forward, but I think in a different direction. Each one of you is capable of increasing your capacity 10 times and becoming a super leader, a hero to your family, to your colleagues, and to your community. I encourage every one of you to grab a hold of your strengths and take advantage of the opportunity to become a great leader at Global Chamber. I want to thank you for the opportunity to share my thoughts. David Hewin, CCIM.
Thank you so much, David. And I have to just put in a plug for David, because he is also with the Global Chamber LA and serving on several committees. And he has just been very supportive with everything. Currently, we've been talking quite frequently just with some of the initiatives that we're putting forward with Global Chamber LA. So I have to just really thank David. You can hear in his comments his passion for helping others, and I can definitely attest to that. So thank you so much for joining us today, David. And now I don't want to butcher the first name, but last name Peeve. I know thank you before, but please, so that I do not mispronounce your first name.
Hello. Thank you, David, for your kind word. I like your vision. I like your strong. You are a really very important guy for these groups. So thank you for know you. I want to thank you also to Mr. Duck for all the referrals for the good groups and for all work who do for everyone. Thank you. So my name is Krumpev and I am from Bulgaria, one small country in Southeastern Europe. We are a producer of food supplements, herbal extracts, feed additives and enzymes. Company Vemo have 30 years history. It's a family company and start in the in the beginning of Bulgaria was in communism, and it's from 30 years we are start to be freedom, to be free. So family company develop very good and make excellent products, premium products for food supplements for health and sport. So most of them are very innovative, and they are for they are working very good for sporties, for all kinds of sports, sports teams, basketball, volleyball, football, and we sell good in this of the national teams of some sporties in different sporties. So we are looking for distributors for first for this kind of for all kinds of sport, but we are also looking for distributors, for pharmacy distributors. We have good products for pharmacy and for fitness centers. So every referral in this way it's okay for us. We develop good. We export in many countries in Europe. Also, partly we export in USA. We have now a negotiation with one global chamber leader from Mexico. Hope to do something. But slowly, I am happy that have good that people understand what we do, and most of the people want to take good supplements, which is not with chemicals. Our supplements with herbs. We produce only with Bulgarian herbs. So thank you everyone.
Oh, thank you so much. And I just kind of want to follow up because I know you attended our last virtual monthly meetup in the month of February, and you had some contacts. So you were able to follow up with some of the distributors, the referrals through Global Chamber, yes? And you're still looking for additional referrals for distributors in the US?
I have some good referrals from Global Chamber, and we are working, but the things is coming with time and not depend totally from me, because I'm just one representative. So it depends from the strategy of the company, depend from my boss, but I care for him, everything to go on time, but we see. I don't know. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. And thanks for joining us again. And so we have 3 more people within the 9 minutes that we do have left. Let's see. We have, Elizabeth Glenn. Elizabeth Glenn.
Thank you, Anita. Hello, everyone. I am Elizabeth Glenn, EMG Global Business Solutions. I'm based in Los Angeles and am an advisory member of our local chapter. I work primarily with business owners in the manufacturing sector, key areas, aerospace, automotive, medical device, etc., to build out their export expansion for accelerated business growth. As well, I've also worked with companies to connect with supplier opportunities in Mexico, which represents a significant opportunity. In spite of the current volatility, there is opportunity for our manufacturers to access more customers and increase sales in the global marketplace. This said, it's important that companies maximize their competitive edge to maintain and to gain added export sales. Knowing how to maximize their export expertise is critical, and that's what I help them with, enhancing their export, aligning their export operations with their business so they can build out more sales. If you're aware of manufacturers that can benefit from strengthening their export capabilities, I can help. Elizabeth Glenn, EMG Global Business Solutions. Glad to be here and welcome Elizabeth to Los Angeles.
Thank you so much. And just Elizabeth, Glenn, I just want to clarify. So when you're working with the manufacturers, these are manufacturers that are already exporting, correct? Not new to export. That's what you work with?
Ideally, it's companies that are already exporting. I can help new to export if they're committed. That's always the challenge here. If they're committed, then and they have the resources and the staff to do it, yes, I can absolutely help them.
Great, thank you. Okay, and then we have Eduardo Gonzalez.
Hi everyone. I'm driving. I'll keep my camera off. I'm based out of Phoenix. I'm the executive director for Global Chamber for US and Mexico. I do also manufacturing consultancy. We do contract manufacturing solutions. We look for contract manufacturing options in Mexico. So when a company is looking to nearshore their operation or are looking to replace their current suppliers in some other parts of the world, we help them find a qualified partner in Mexico. Been doing this for more than 30 years, used to work for the Mexico Development Bank, and came to Arizona as the trade commissioner for Mexico for Arizona and Nevada. My company name is 258 Consulting, and I left my contact information in the chat. Happy to talk to anyone interested or collaborate with anyone already in the same business. Thank you again.
Okay, thank you so much, Eduardo. And I will be reaching out to you. I still have you on my list of persons to reach out to with regard to just business with US Mexico. And then we also have our final person, last but not least, Thierry from Utah. Calling Utah, calling Thierry. Can you hear us? Okay, well, okay, so I guess that will be it, wrapping it up with the final comments from Eduardo. And then thank you, everyone. And then just a quick reminder as to the work that I do with, of course, as chair of Global Chamber Los Angeles, but I am the founder and CEO of the Global Research Institute of International Trade, working with clients, small, mid-sized companies to help them minimize their risks and maximize their revenue as they expand globally. And we do that by providing them with decision-focused insights. In other words, customized market research and developing a strategy as they expand. And one opportunity for some of the new to exports, or if there are companies that are considering export, that there is an opportunity. I also collaborate with the Small Business Development Center. I dedicate some of my time there for the Los Angeles area. So if anyone has any manufacturing companies where they are really just getting started and need advising and don't necessarily have the resources for developing market research, etc., this is complimentary to them. Please let me know. That is an ask that I have for a good referral, so that they can get free assistance and get advice until they get to the point where they are truly export ready. And then we can hand them off to someone such as Elizabeth Glenn. Okay, so well, that was a very good meeting. Again, thank you so much, Stacy, for all of your insights. I really appreciate it, and everyone that joined the call today to share a little bit about what you do. Again, welcome Elizabeth to Los Angeles, but sharing what you're doing. And so hopefully from all of the information that is provided in the chat, connect one-on-one. And then of course we will connect again on the third Thursday of the month. So for the month of April is April 16th at 10 o'clock to continue these conversations and then to form collaborations. And I will, with the few remaining minutes, I will turn it over to Doug for any final comments.
Thank you, Sarita. There was a newsletter that went out to the Los Angeles region this morning. And so if you're interested in getting those and you didn't get it, let me know or let Globy know. If you let Globy know, then you'll be added to the distribution. The title of it was called Institute of Global Exchange. They are a group that sets up interns for companies, and largely it's free. Certainly, the Korea West programs are free, and some of them have some nominal costs. They have over 50 young professionals who are available for companies. And so, if you know anyone that's looking for talented folks, go to that newsletter and you'll be able to click through. And there's actually a link there where you'll see the 50 plus people that are available. Check in with Ken Inouye. He was at the January lunch, but you can get his email through the message through the newsletter. Sarita, there are 10 events that I see on the calendar for the next 2 months. So if my math is correct, months usually have about 4 weeks, 4 to 5, and we have 10 events in 2 months. And so that's 2 of them are collaborators. So one of them that Anne mentioned is the collaboration event on April 16th, her first annual Global Women in Innovation Summit by the SoCal Women in Business. And so we certainly, hopefully all can attend that, and we 100% support that. Sarita mentioned today's event, of course, you've been part of that. March 26th is the Export-Import Forum by Anita. April 16th is our meetup along with the Anne's event. April 20th is not out yet, but I think it'll hit the streets on Monday. It's an event between Los Angeles and Shanghai, supported by Invest Shanghai, which is part of our advisory board. They've actually started putting more investment in both Los Angeles and San Francisco. Shanghai has, and we're going to be doing an event at Bank of China, something like the title of Trade Opportunities between LA and Shanghai, US, China. So watch for that on Monday. April 20th is the date of that. It's in the morning. It's a Monday morning in downtown LA. So some people, including Anita, will not be there. I can almost guarantee it. But we are going. It is what it is. I didn't have full control over that. We mentioned about the April 29th Globinar kicking off a series on ports, or Anita did. May 7th is the 12th annual Orange County World Trade Week, and Bill Edwards is a key part of that. And then May 14th, that also will be up very shortly. It's the Tokyo, LA, New York City Global Chamber event at Japan House. So watch for that. May 14th with CBIZ, a member of ours that's been mainly active in New York, but now is becoming more active in Los Angeles. So Anita Sarita, thank you for your leadership, and anything that you'd like to add, because I know you're putting together a USMCA event as well in the May-June timeframe.
Yes, so we're still finalizing our events on the US-Mexico-Canada agreement, especially with regard to the review scheduled for this year. And so pretty much for those that are on the events committee and even drawing in the import-export committee, since it's events, anything, we have our advisory board meeting on Wednesday. Coming up on Wednesday, that's on your calendar. And so we'll bring that up, and any ideas, any suggestions that you have, you'll get an update as to where we are with it. And then any suggestions would be greatly helpful. But yes, we are behind the scenes still moving forward to try to pull that together by the end of May, as opposed to April, to give ourselves enough time to coordinate, to promote, and then still be ahead slightly now ahead of the start of the review process in June, and then everything will be finalized by July 1st of the USMCA review process. So we're looking at the end of May. So we'll give you an update and just see how all of that comes together.
Thank you, Sarita. Thank you, everybody.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Okay, enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Ciao.